Welcome to Screen Riot. This week's movie is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, a comedy from 2005. This episode will contain major spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, it's available to rent on all the major services for $2.99. So go check it out and come back to the podcast because this is Screen Riot. Welcome to Screen Riot. I'm Justin, and I'm joined with co-hosts Eddie, Kyle, and John. And this week we are taking a look at a comedy film from 2005 called Kiss Kiss, Bang Bang.
All right.
It doesn't really say comma. It's just
Kiss Kiss Bang
Kiss
Bang.
Kiss Bang Bang. So it stars Robert Downey Jr. as Harry Lockhart, a low-level street thief who inadvertently lands on an acting role and is whisked away to Los Angeles, where he finds himself taking private eye lessons from Gay Perry, played by Val Kilmer. And along the way, Harry meets up with Harmony, played by the lovely Michelle Monaghan, who he has had a crush on ever since they were little kids, and together the three unravel a murder mystery involving Harmony's sister. That's the basis of the whole of this convoluted plot.
And then hilarity ensues.
Yeah, hilarity ensues.
Pretty much.
Oh, is that what happened?
I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny.
I laughed a little bit.
I thought it was okay. It was all right funny.
It was all right. Funny.
So this was written and directed by Shane Black, who we're probably all familiar with. He's kind of a little writer we know. Like he wrote Lethal Weapons 1 through 4. He wrote The Monster Squad from 1987.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies.
I was about to say, yeah, we talk about that a lot. The Last Boy Scout, Last Action Hero, Iron Man 3, one of the good ones.
Okay, Last Action Hero is awful.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, that's one of the worst movies.
As a kid, it was
As a
awesome.
kid, it's fun.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
What? You don't like Last Action
I
Hero?
thought it was horrible.
Wow.
Movie. I'm sorry. Go ahead, though.
Okay, well, he also wrote The Nice Guys,
That was hilarious.
which is funny.
I like that.
And the Predator remake from 2018, which I haven't seen. I haven't seen. But he's also directed some of the movies that he wrote. So he did, obviously, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He directed this. He directed Iron Man 3, The Nice Guys, and the Predator remake.
Nice.
Nice.
So I also like looking up cinematographers because that's kind of what I'm interested in, right? So this was shot by a guy named Milton R. Krasner. Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Anybody? Has,
No. I was going to say, what did he do?
Yeah. So he shot some... He seems to love working with... what's that high-paid comedy actor that has terrible rated movies?
Seth Rogen?
No.
Broken Lizard.
It's
Happy Gilmore.
It's the same
Adam
guy that I
Sandler.
was talking
Sandler?
about. Yeah,
Adam Sandler. Yes. Yeah, that's right. You were...
Nobody
think
can
of his
figure
name.
out his name.
For some reason, I couldn't think of it. Yes, but Adam Sandler, because he did Don't Mess with the Zohan, Bedtime Stories,
Okay.
Bucky Larson, which I think that was with not Adam Sandler. It was with David Spade, I think.
Okay.
No, it was with Nick Swartzen. I don't remember. I had to go look it up. Anyway, A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas.
Which was not the good one.
No, that wasn't the good
Yeah,
one.
that was Nick Swartzen with
Yeah, Nick Swartzen. Okay.
Bucky Larson.
Ted, the one with Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg, and Ted 2.
Yeah.
And A Million Ways to Die in the West, that terrible Netflix-produced
Yeah.
movie with
So those were all shot by him.
Seth MacFarlane. Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
I used to work with a woman who thought I looked like Seth MacFarlane. Before I had my beard, she was like, "You look just like Seth MacFarlane," and I'm like, but she could never tell me that I look like Seth MacFarlane. She thought that she kept referring to me as, the guy from A Million Ways to Die in the West, and I was like, "What?"
There's a bunch of like cameos in there. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not the name of the movie, is it?
A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Oh,
Yeah.
so what's the 1970s Clint Eastwood movie? It's a similar name.
What, Good, Bad, the Ugly?
No, it's like How to Die in the West or something like that. How to Live and Die in the West.
Pale Rider.
No, it's not that one. It's not Pale Rider.
Two
Whatever it
mules
is.
for Sister Sarah.
It's definitely not. But anyway, she would always refer to me as the guy from that, and I'm like, Seth MacFarlane. She's like, yeah, Seth MacFarlane. I was like, I don't think so, but okay. I was like,
I don't
sure.
see it.
I look more like Brian than I do from Family Guy than I do Seth MacFarlane, but okay.
So I also like to look up the Oscars too for this for the films that we do here, right? So, not nominated for anything.
Okay.
That's probably not a shock, right?
Yeah. I am totally shocked. I can't believe it. What a travesty.
Yeah. So just to go over a couple things that were nominated that year, just to see what it's up against, right? So like Best Actor, the one who won was Philip Seymour Hoffman for Capote.
Which is a good movie.
Which is a good movie, yeah. And Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace, love you. And then Terrence Howard for Hustle and Flow was nominated. Joaquin Phoenix for Walk the Line. David Strathairn for Good Night and Good Luck.
Okay, I didn't like Good Night and Good Luck, but the rest of those are pretty strong.
Yeah, Walk the Line was definitely a good one.
And Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow is a good movie.
For what it is, impressive. I mean, it's nowhere near somebody that I would want to hang out with, but Terrence Howard does a good job selling himself as a pimp in that movie.
Right.
You know?
So Best Actor in a Supporting Role, to go along with the parallels of Gay Perry without Kilmer, right? You had George Clooney from Syriana, who won, which I haven't seen.
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, and then you had Matt Dillon from Crash.
Matt Dillon.
No.
Matt Dillon.
No.
Not Matt Damon.
I know it's not, but I just thought it'd be
Now that you said Matt Damon.
Matt Dillon. It kind of works.
Kind of.
That's when Matt Damon gets really tired. He forgets his name.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Matt Dillon from Crash, Paul Giamatti from Cinderella Man, and Jake Gyllenhaal from Brokeback Mountain, and William Hurt from A History of Violence.
Okay. I hope that Paul Giamatti from Cinderella Man won, but I think
No,
Crash
it was
won.
George Clooney for Syriana.
Oh, that's right. You said it was. That was the year that Crash took everything, wasn't it? Wasn't Crash nominated for every single category?
Well, because it had a big ensemble cast.
Yeah,
it's a good movie. I enjoy Crash.
I thought it was okay. I didn't like it that much, but
Is that the one with Sandra Bullock? Or Sandra Bullock?
if it wasn't with Sandra Bullock, it's the only movie without.
Yeah.
She was the only person not in that movie. If that's not the one with
I
Sandra
thought it
Bullock.
was.
No, no, I think
know
it
she
is.
was in it. She was in a Crash movie.
I think it is. I'm just laughing because, like he said, it had an ensemble. Everyone from Hollywood was in that
remember,
movie.
wasn't there two movies released around the same time that were both named Crash?
Yes, there was.
So there was. I don't know if there are two. So
there are.
Hold on. There's definitely two Crash movies. There's the Crash that was nominated for all those awards, and then there was the Crash autoerotica, like car erotica movie. But that movie was in like 1997 or 98.
96.
96, and that has James Spader and Elias Koteas, who I still think of as Casey from Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah,
she was in the 2004 film.
Yeah,
Crash.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's one of the main ones.
Yeah, the only human guy with the remember he wore the
Casey
hockey
Jones.
Casey Jones, yeah. It's like it's a great
that
was Elias Koteas.
That's a guilty pleasure to me.
Exactly.
I love that movie.
But that movie
Jose
Crash,
Canseco
that movie Crash is absolutely insane. If you watch it, it's pretty nuts. It's a bunch of people who like to have sex in car crashes. It's pretty out there.
So
like aftermath of car crashes, or while the crash is happening?
Both.
Oh dear.
Yeah, if you get to watch it, it's got the woman whose name I can never remember. She's not attractive to me at all, but she's made to be this like sex symbol in the movie. And it's got the other woman who I think looks like a lion in it. I'll tell you names. Hold on a second.
I just remember Sandra Bullock. I remember laughing just having her in this called Crash because she was in Speed.
And they crashed.
And that was a crashing joke. Sorry.
And the irony is felt all over the world. So the people I'm talking about real fast, Holly Hunter is made to be a sex symbol in that movie Crash with Elias Koteas. I don't personally find her attractive at all. And the one who I think looks like a tiger is Deborah Unger. Okay. I don't know. She's been in a bunch of stuff. The Way, Silent Hill. She was in The Game. She plays the sex symbol blonde in The Game.
Okay.
The one who's actually like in on it, quote unquote.
Right.
Yeah.
So the one who won Best Director that year.
Yep.
Was the director of Brokeback Mountain, Ang Lee.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then Best Picture, Crash won Best Picture that year for 2006. Wow. So yeah,
it was a tough year.
Yeah. Tough year.
Very tough.
But again, this isn't Oscar worthy.
No. That's what I was
for
say.
what it's worth.
Had all those movies not been in there, I don't think this movie would have taken it.
Still wouldn't have nominated.
No. You take all those movies out and you put in, I don't know, Ace Ventura 2, and it's all like, I mean, maybe.
Okay, I would say then yes.
Gay Perry makes the list. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I laughed more in Pet Detective 2.
Oh man.
I'm not saying it wasn't a good movie, and I did laugh, but
Bumblebee Tuna.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and dive into this.
Yeah, like anybody got anything like sprouting forefront in their minds of something that they absolutely did not like? Let's start with something that you did not like.
I do.
You do? Okay,
go ahead, John.
What is that?
I did not like the subplot of the sister being sexually abused by their father.
Oh, you
I
didn't?
think it was a bit too heavy for a quote unquote comedy. And I know this is a darker comedy, but I think that was just too. I mean, it could have been anything else. It could have just been physically abused. It could have been.
Yeah.
It could have been they were abandoned. It could have been just something
My father,
other than
my father
sexual
left
abuse.
me. You know, yeah.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
what you're saying there.
I just wish it would have been something else.
I gotcha. It is kind of a left turn in the movie, because we see him at the party, I believe, and he's doing his narration thing, which I know you want to talk about.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah,
of
you're
that.
not a huge fan of the narration part. But he's doing his narration thing. He's like, here's how we got here, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it does this left fork in the road turn, and then we get real serious with the sexual abuse stuff and all. And you're right, it's heavy. It's kind of weird.
I really did like the narrating.
You did?
Yeah, I liked the whole breaking of the fourth wall, because he was talking about some sort of edit that happened, and he was like, "Oh, and that's where it's like a natural transition or something like that." Like,
Yeah. See, I didn't mind.
I liked the breaking of the fourth wall on that.
I didn't mind all of it. There was just certain parts that I was like, okay, we get it. Like it went too far. You know what I mean? It was funny to a point, and then they just kind of went too far with it. That's all that really bothered me about it. It just wasn't as.
Because I don't think they stopped doing it probably, I don't know, maybe after the first 15 minutes of the movie.
No, it's still going about. It's going to about an hour, almost 45 minutes into the movie. I'd say 45 to an hour is when they stopped, because they were still doing it all the way up until I think the finger part.
It's further than an hour because
Well, because I know they ended it on that.
But yeah, that's true.
With him looking at the audience, you know. But
yeah, that's true.
yeah, that's true. Well, and they do that little gag at the end in the hospital where they bring in like Elvis. And
that was hilarious.
that was
I
pretty
laughed.
funny.
Yeah.
Did you guys think that was funny?
I did. Because
Okay.
it was like, it's a movie. Fuck it. You know, why not?
Well, and
here comes Lincoln. You know.
I will say I liked his reasoning. His reasoning, he's like, yeah, Perry didn't die. It feels kind of like a cop out. I hate whenever movies do this. They always try and end on a happy note.
Yeah.
He's like, well, if you're gonna bring him back, well, fuck it, just bring them all
Just
back.
bring
And
everybody
the
back,
purple
yeah.
hair girl walks in. like,
Lincoln walks in. Elvis walks
I
out.
do kind of giggle at it.
giggled.
Yeah,
I did
I kind of laugh at it. Yeah, you're all right. It is kind of funny. I don't know. There were certain things that I thought they did really well, and then there's certain things I thought they dropped the ball on. The sexual assault thing with the sister didn't bother me as much. I kind of liked that. I don't know. It sort of gave a different twist to who the characters were, because I mean, she said she like felt, you know, the Michelle Monaghan's character. I'm always so bad
Harmony.
about these names. Thank you, Harmony.
Harmony, yeah.
You know, she said she felt guilty about leaving her sister and all that kind of stuff. I like that it gave her character a little bit more depth, because otherwise she's super shallow. I mean, we really don't know anything about her. She seems to just be this party girl who's not really an actress, who's more of a waitress, but she says she's an actress. And you know, and she's running around, and I mean, she's almost nothing. Like, she has no real backstory. That gave us some backstory to the whole thing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it could have been a different.
I don't disagree.
different topic,
Yeah. I don't disagree. Yeah, I mean, it is darker than maybe it needs to be. But there's parts of the movie that are like that too. I mean, throughout the whole thing, I found some parts to be a little more gratuitous than they needed to be. Like
what?
with the dead vagina shot. I was like, okay.
I mean, but it's important to the plot.
It was important to the plot. I just kind of was like,
You could have done it with a butt.
I was like, that's a vagina.
Good.
It just kind of threw me. At first I didn't know what he was doing. I had to actually back it up for a second, and that's not a joke. I know what it sounds like, but I shit you not. I was like, wait, what's he doing? I backed it up for a second. Oh, it's a vagina. Oh, he's trying to cover up.
I had to make sure. Yeah, I had to make sure I saw what I saw. I'm
Exactly.
like, wait a second, did he just what?
Well, it's
Because
not-
you don't see that in movies typically.
No. I was like, that's yeah, okay, that's what that is. Yeah, I just, it threw me for a second. I don't know. There was a few things that were like that though. Like I said, throughout the movie, I actually did like. I like the henchmen, the two henchmen who they both die. They both get killed.
Right.
I like them because they were, and this is something I don't normally say, but I liked how stereotypical they were in a making fun of themselves stereotype.
Which was on purpose.
Yeah, I like that. I like that they were like, what, really, you have to be like this? I mean, you have to argue with me right in front of I thought it was kind of funny. And whenever the one guy was obviously more intelligent and was using more intelligent words,
Yes.
and the other guy was getting pissed at him, I'm like,
Which, when I first saw him, I'm thinking, man, I've seen this guy somewhere. The black guy, Rodman Dunbar.
yes, yeah,
He was the cop in Sons of Anarchy.
Yes,
He was one of the main. He
he
was one of the main
sheriff.
cops.
he was
Yeah,
the sheriff.
Okay.
yeah,
Whenever the other sheriffs retire and die and all that.
yeah.
That's right.
Lieutenant Eli Roosevelt.
What I like about
that
those
one.
two guys is they're basically Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction.
Kind of.
The
Yeah.
same,
Yeah.
the same type of shtick, the same type of attitude towards each other, etc. I was like, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the white guy, he makes a comment. I had to look this up because this was bothering the hell out of me.
Yeah.
He makes a comment and says, we're like Ike, Mike, and Mustard.
Yes.
And I had no idea what that was a reference to. Even they even make a joke about it in the film, right? Because
Yeah.
the black guy's like that. I'm with him. That's pretty fucking obscure.
Well, it's about
Right?
movies. It's about going to the movies and getting Ike and Mike's and mustard for your hot dog, right?
No, but that's a good theory.
Oh, I thought that's what it
that
was.
was a nice stretch.
I thought that's what it was. Okay,
not
apparently
not
I'm
from.
wrong.
You might be right because a lot of people, from what I could do some research about, they're not quite sure.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's a good. I will subscribe to that one.
Okay.
Okay.
What'd you find?
Because what I found was Ike and Mike's are like the candy,
Yes.
right? But it was also a diner slang for salt and pepper.
Mike and Ike,
how do you get
Ike
there?
and Mike.
or Ike and Mike.
Yeah.
How do you get there? Ike and Mike's are orange
Well,
or red
because
and
the
green.
two henchmen were white and black.
Yeah, but
So
And-
if it was kitchen slang or if it was restaurant slang for salt and pepper.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
That's
I don't know
weird.
how the slang came up.
First of all, as
Yeah.
the resident fat man,
Yes.
it's Mike and Ike,
Oh, it is
Mike and
Mike.
Ike.
not Ike and Mike.
Yeah, because that
That's
sounds
right.
weird.
That's right. It is
Okay.
Mike and Ike.
Yeah.
I unsubscribed from your theory.
Well, no, but doesn't he say Mike, Ike, and mustard?
He says Ike, Mike, and Mustard, but it is Mike and Ike, so it is like reversed. So, but regardless,
It plays
Yeah.
on his little stupidity there.
But
Yeah.
I've never heard that one. I thought that it was a movie reference.
yeah, I've never heard it either.
Okay.
But and the mustard just means mustard.
Okay, John.
Yep, I have looked it up
Mm-hmm.
in lingomash.com.
Okay.
According to lingomash.com, Mike and Ike is slang for salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah,
There you go.
Weird.
So they're salt and pepper.
It's like Mutt and Jeff, maybe. Like
Okay.
like Pit and Pat, like your feet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
Or Thunder and Lightning.
But instead, their names were Mr. Frying Pan and Mr. Fryer.
yeah.
Or Mr. Fire, not Fryer. That would have been hilarious, though.
I mean, when I first heard it, I thought it was like some obscure like '70s action
I don't
movie
know.
reference or something.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's
like,
what I was thinking, too.
But
I didn't really look into it. I was just like, he's an idiot. And this guy's telling him to shut up.
yeah,
I thought it was a can. I thought they were making more like movie jokes because they're in Hollywood and everything seemed to revolve around the movie industry.
that's a good guess. If he said Mike and Ike, I could see that. But he said
Yeah, but he probably couldn't
Ike
just
and
because of
Mike.
copyright and all that kind of crap.
maybe.
Maybe.
So I
don't
had
know.
to flip it and be like, that's not your name.
Can I half subscribe to your theory? Like,
Can you have
I'm not
smash
even-
that subscribe button?
I'm not
speaking
even
of,
subscribed
subscribe to the podcast.
There you go.
to it. But I'm not even subscribed to my theory. My theory was just a guess.
That's true.
So Michelle Monaghan's boobs were out at one point in the movie, and
Yes, Eddie.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
and it was a strange scene
Why?
for me anyway. I was watching the scene and I'm watching Robert Downey Jr.'s reaction to it, and I put myself into the situation for a second, and I'm like, okay, so she's like, well, you don't need to sleep on the couch. You can just lay in here or anything, but nothing's going to happen. And all I could think is, what universe does somebody go, hey, I just stripped down in front of this mirror that I know you can see me in, and I'm now topless and all I'm wearing is panties, but jump into bed with me real quick. But just to be clear, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, that's
Oh, the comedy was lost on you, I see.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, what is going on? And then he does, and then she's making jokes about his erection and all this stuff, and I'm like,
That's what it was. It was supposed to be comedic.
this
is
bitch is
what it was.
really mean.
You
Like-
knew she wasn't. Well, you knew she was gonna. She wanted him to sleep in the bed.
Yeah.
But he was going to be a gentleman. She knew he was going to be a gentleman, so that's why she said it.
Oh, so you think she was actually trying to get him to go to bed?
I think so.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
Well,
who
and-
takes off their shirt in front of a mirror, knowing that a dude can see without going, "Hey, I want you to come here."
It's so she can have plausible deniability.
Oh, is that it?
Is that what it
right,
is?
yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, I kind of thought it was more of a friend zone deal.
That's what I thought. I thought she had friend zoned him so hard that she's like, I could strip down naked in front of you. It means nothing to me. Like,
yeah,
Jesus.
exactly. Yeah, because as long as you're in
That's
that
a harsh
zone,
friend zone, man.
That is pretty bad.
you're more of a brother
Yeah.
instead of a potential sex partner.
What's weird to me about the whole movie, though, with that in particular, and I don't really hate this. I don't really like it. It just kind of happened. They don't end up together. I found that interesting. I was like, wait. So he saved her, went through all this shit, etc. And as far as I can tell, he's the one that shut it down because she slept with his friend in high school.
Yes.
It's just the dumbest reason to turn down what I saw in that mirror. That's the dumbest reason.
Yeah, because he felt betrayed about it
so dumb.
because apparently she made that promise to him in high school.
Why
right?
didn't he recognize her, by the way? That did bother me. He's like Harmony? Like, how do you...
Well,
so they're
'cause she
friends
was-
all the way through high school, and he doesn't recognize her now?
Well, she was blonde when she was a little girl too,
Okay.
and she was brunette in this one, right?
I thought she was brunette when she was in
I
high
think she
school
was.
as well.
I think she was. Well, the child actress, anyways, that was in the box
I
about to
thought
get.
she was a redhead in the whole film.
Wait, you guys talking about the black-haired chick?
like, need to see photos of the movie.
Oh, that's great. Well,
I think-
speaking of whenever she was younger, do you know who that actress was?
The little girl?
No,
Who
no.
played 7-year-old Harmony?
No,
No.
No.
Ariel Winter.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Modern Family. Ariel Winter.
Oh,
The middle
Wait.
child.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah, that was her.
interesting.
Ariel
Okay.
Winter.
Okay, well, to be fair, John was closest with her hair color. So good.
As an
eye.
adult, yeah.
It was more, I guess, strawberry blonde. I guess you'd say it's not actually a
Yes,
redhead,
yeah,
but
strawberry
it's
blonde.
probably strawberry blonde.
Enough redhead.
I'd say red.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would call that brunette, actually, but I could see reddish tint to it.
Maybe
But,
I was just seeing things, but
I don't know.
And
I thought she was brunette.
it was the lighting. I'll
Blame it on this terrible cinematographer.
That's right.
there you go.
Blame him.
And did you realize who 9-year-old Harry was at the beginning?
No.
No.
That was Robert Downey Jr.'s son, Indio. Indio.
Oh, well,
really?
That
That was
makes
his
sense
son?
because
Okay.
he looked almost just like him.
Yeah, it did.
Indio Falconer Downey?
Yep.
Oh, God.
Falconer
Falconer?
is the name. Is his mother's mother's maiden name.
Okay.
An interesting little tidbit of trivia. His godfather is Anthony Michael Hall.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
So Michelle Moynihan's boot. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Now,
Now her
how
butt.
hard? How
How
hard?
hard?
Rodney
Go ahead,
Hard.
John. Yeah.
So hard.
Yeah.
How hard do you have to slam a door to chop a man's finger off?
Not
That's
very.
what I wanted.
Oh, did you do trivia?
Yeah. I mean, no. I did not do trivia. However, I can look it up.
So here's the thing. My mother and father had an argument one time, and my dad closed the door behind himself, not knowing that my mom was right behind him, and she got the tip of her finger cut off in the door with the exact same situation.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was literally like they were arguing. He closed the door, and she screamed, and he turned around. And he was like, "What happened?" And she's like, "You cut the end of my finger off." And he's like, "Oh shit!" Like,
The only thing
whatever
I can
we were
think
arguing
of-
about suddenly doesn't matter anymore.
Well, the only thing I can think of is I think it was a hotel door, which
Yes.
are typically like very heavy
Very
metal
heavy,
doors,
yeah.
right? But the other thing that kind of bugged me, it was his ring finger.
It's not hard to do.
But if you think about it, if he's got his hand on the door frame, what fingers are actually more out and prominent?
No, your
The
index
middle,
and your middle
finger.
finger.
Yeah. How the hell does the ring finger get cut off almost to the knuckle? Magic, movie magic. I'll just that's what I subscribe to.
Sure.
So I'll tell you this. It was actually my index finger, but once when I was in 3rd grade, I believe, my mom. So we were having trouble with the car that we were driving at the time, and my dad, every time we got into this car, would go underneath the hood, would do something, close the hood, get in the car, and we'd drive off. Right.
Sure.
So my mom was driving, and she popped the hood, and she went around, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to hold the hood for my mom. I'm going to be nice and hold the hood open for her." So I reach my hands up to hold the hood up for her, and she takes the hood and slams it down.
Oh.
Slams it down and catches my index finger in the hood. And I'm like, "Open the hood." And she's like, "Get in the car." And I'm like, "The hood." open the hood. And she's like, what is wrong with you? Get in the car. And I'm like, my finger. And she's like, oh, God. And she goes over and pops the hood. And my finger was, I mean, just swollen to hell and back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that out of all my fingers, it only caught one, and it was my index. So I mean, I think it's a lot of like depending on what's happening.
Yeah.
Any of your fingers are fair game when it comes to inanimate objects.
Carrot.
Carrot?
The amount of pressure it takes to break a carrot is the amount of pressure it takes to break the same size finger.
So I'll be honest with you, for a second,
to break it in half.
But to break it, yes. But that's breaking bone. But to actually tear a finger off clean.
Well, yeah, I mean, you tear it off clean. I mean, it's a movie.
Carrots don't have skin.
That's how funny it was. It broke off clean. Ha
That's
ha.
right.
So
and a dog ate it.
When you said carrot,
Dog.
When you said carrot, I thought you were challenging me to come up with a story involving a carrot. And I'm like,
you could.
I don't know if I have a story involving a carrot. Oh wait, there's that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I didn't know what you were saying. I'm like, you're like carrot, and I'm like, okay. I mean,
don't you know, Eddie? A carrot.
I didn't.
Carrot.
Yes.
A carrot, Eddie.
When the dog ate the finger, by the way, I was fully expecting a whole nother scene where we're gonna watch him
Benny
following
Hill
a dog.
kinda,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Or he's
Watching
gonna-
the dog and
or he's
feeding
gonna
it
take the
X-Lax.
dog.
Yeah, or take the dog with him the whole
steal it
time.
or
Yeah.
something.
That would be funny.
That would be.
That would have been good.
I do like the scene where the one of the henchmen brings the girl,
The purple hair girl.
the red, whatever.
She had purple hair.
That was purple hair, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
the purple
agree
hair
with that.
girl, and then they have the whole scene, and he shoots her, and Robert Downey Jr. almost gets
Yes.
shot, under the
Yeah.
bed, and then they have that little connection, when she falls. I do like all that stuff.
It's one of the best scenes.
That's
in the
one of the
movie.
best scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about like the overall plot of this?
Convoluted.
Convoluted, right?
Yeah, but I thought
Very.
it was done on purpose to match the Johnny Gossamer novels.
Right.
So I mean, at least it seemed to make sense within the realm of the movie. That being said, I thought it was okay. I mean, I didn't hate it. I thought that it was good as far as it wasn't a straightforward. Okay, had they done it in a serious manner, I maybe would be bitching a little bit because there would be more plot holes. But because it's supposed to be a comedy, it actually kind of pulls off being kind of a lackluster crime movie and being an okay, funny comedy. It's not amazing by any means. I mean,
Right.
the movie's
Yeah,
not.
there's funnier stuff out there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be. It's not going to be a 9 for me by any means. I mean, it's a funny movie. I giggled 4 or 5 times, and
Yeah.
I remember being like, "Nice boobs. Let's move on."
Yeah, I mean, it's no Johnny Dangerously.
It's definitely no Johnny
No, it's
Dangerously.
not.
Oh my god.
0.7 or whatever I gave it.
See, I think if they would have done it, if they would have played it more serious,
Yeah,
it might not have been. I don't even know if this was a box office hit because I didn't cheat. I didn't look it up. But if they would have done it more serious, I think it would have been better. To be quite honest,
Well,
I think
I
the
agree,
humor
yeah.
would have came out more because it's like they were trying to. It's like every time there was a joke, they were kind of like, see what we did there? We laugh. That's where you're supposed to laugh, right?
Yeah.
It almost seemed like they were playing to make you laugh.
what was an intelligent? Okay, so
Almost every line is a joke in this,
yeah, so
especially if you watch it with the subtitles on.
yeah, so what I chalk this up to is Hollywood's elitism. So I think that it's written as an intelligent humor or an intelligent comedy, but we're too stupid to get it. So we got to point out to all the yokels when it's funny. You get what I'm saying? And to me, Val Kilmer, I like Val Kilmer in some stuff, but for the most part, he kind of personifies that. He's just an elitist prick to me. I think of him. He's very much his character in Top Gun.
Yes.
To me.
Exactly.
Dangerous Maverick.
Well, and I think when you were talking about how every line is a joke, and it's like they're kind of prompting the audience, like, that was a joke, laugh, right?
Yeah.
Laugh. It was Gay Perry was the audience.
Yes.
Gay Perry was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, seriously? You're gonna joke around when there's a dead woman in your shower.
Yes.
Like, type thing, right?
But Gay Perry also often was like cracking these little one-liners, and it was under his breath, sort of, to the point where Robert Downey Jr. becomes the audience and is like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "Nothing. You're an idiot." And it's just like,
Yeah. Kilmer's acting reminded me of Dragnet / film noir type.
Yeah, I can see
leading,
that.
like leading man. It was like had that and Dragnet, not necessarily the classic Joe Friday
Yeah,
But
you're talking about the Dan Aykroyd,
the Dan
Tom
Aykroyd,
Hanks one.
yes, that one. That's
The
what I'm
good
talking
one.
about. Yes,
That's the good one.
No,
Actually-
I enjoyed Dragnet the show.
I do too, but the damn movie with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks is fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah,
to
that's
me.
great. The
Actually,
Virgin,
speaking of
Connie
the
Swale.
speaking of the original Dragnet, the room number that Harry was staying in the
Yeah.
hotel was 417, which was the Dragnet badge number for Joe Friday.
Oh, was
Oh.
it really?
Nice. I did not know that. Okay.
Interesting. Wonderful parallel there.
Virgin Connie Swale. You mean you're a virgin? I have a funny story about that. I'll tell you guys
I'm
after
sure
the
you
show.
do.
There you go. You have a story about everything.
Well, I'm sorry, but this one's really funny. Do you want me to tell it now?
No.
No.
You guys are mean. Oh my God.
This is a show about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah.
It was kind of a show about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang too. But
We've already gone through 2 of your stories.
Well, I liked Val Kilmer in this.
I did too.
I
really
liked the
enjoyed him.
the gay Perry character in this. I thought all of his lines were funny. I like his acting in it. One thing I did find that was kind of interesting is he was not the first pick
oh no,
Really?
for this movie.
who was it?
Well, how
Jake-
would you
Jake
feel?
Gyllenhaal.
How would you feel if the gay Perry role went to Hugh Grant?
Oh hell no!
No.
Is he going to be American?
I mean, it would be Hugh Grant, and I'm sure he'd probably put on some American accent, or they probably try to make him British. I guess maybe, but
I'd say it's a no for me.
yeah,
Hugh
definitely
Grant
not.
would probably try to woo Harmony in some way,
Yeah.
even though he's gay Perry. It's like he would, swing that way just for a little bit, just to piss off Robert Downey Jr. Or
I think it would be less Notting Hill, more Rotting Hill, if you know what I mean. And if it was Hugh Grant,
I just don't.
that
like
was a
Hugh
joke,
Grant.
John. Rib,
Oh,
rib.
ha 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 ha.
Well, there was somebody else
Oh God,
that was also
Bruce
offered
Willis.
the role.
Bruce Willis.
Actually, offered the role.
Yeah,
Harrison Ford of Gay Perry.
Really?
I think that would have been good.
I think that would have been good
Yeah,
because
in
if you
2005 though,
if
he would have been better because he's not 100 years old like he is now.
if you've seen Harrison Ford on like Conan O'Brien, any like late night nowadays, he's so gruff and off-putting. Like this character that he's doing is, if he were to play that on this movie, I think that would have been great.
Yeah, because I remember seeing him in a was it a Chris Angel bit? I think.
Oh really?
Was Harrison
Yes.
Ford? Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Where
was
he's
in,
doing magic in his
he
house.
was in his house, and he's like Harrison's like freaking out or whatever. And finally, he goes, "Get the hell out of my house!" I mean it.
Yeah. He made like a card appear inside of an unpeeled orange
Yeah,
or something.
He's like,
Yeah.
"Get the hell out of my
He's
house!"
like, get the hell out of my house. He's like,
Get off of my plane.
But he
Yeah,
does that character that's so good
Yeah.
that it makes you think that that's how he is in
Yeah.
real life.
That's funny.
yeah. Well, since we're doing, first pick actors, I also have a couple of people who were not, who were choices over Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
Okay.
Oprah.
No.
Jesus. This movie
First
got very
one,
weird.
first one, Benicio del Toro.
No.
Yeah, definitely not.
no.
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 Nah. Okay, we're just moving on.
Yeah.
Okay, the other person, which I think is even worse,
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pepsi.
Native American Joe Pesci made me laugh out loud.
Oh yes.
Okay. It did.
Okay, yes, I laughed at those. That was hilarious.
But
He
you know what I
did
found?
look like Native American Joe Pepsi.
Joe Pepsi.
Good lord, I keep thinking of that honest trailer with.
You know what I found
Home Alone.
funny about that scene though? In particular, I was like, okay, this seems like Robert Downey Jr. and Michelle Monaghan are actually flirting with each other.
Oh yeah.
That's what I liked about it. It felt that was the most real feeling to me of the whole movie, and I was like, it lasted way too little. Like I almost wanted them to just do that for an hour. I was like, I'll just watch that. I'm watching them make fun of other people.
Whoever the casting director was for this found Native American Joe Pesci.
Yeah, that was funny.
It was freaking hilarious.
That was great.
But no, the other person who was I don't know if he was offered, but he was considered, Johnny Knoxville.
Oh my god. Well,
No.
I can kind of see it. Really, I can really kind of see it just because he does have this different side that's not jackass.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think he would have done better than Robert Downey Jr.
Really?
Yeah, and you know why I say that? Johnny Knoxville actually seems like he comes from the Midwest. Robert Downey Jr. does not.
That's true.
And he actually seems like somebody who I could see robbing a bank or a
Toy store.
or
Yeah.
what was he? Electronics store. He was
Yeah.
robbing computer parts. I could see him robbing that and then accidentally falling into becoming an actor. I could see that happening. The only problem I see with it is if you put Johnny Knoxville into it, it's a Johnny Knoxville movie,
Right.
and that's not a good thing to do.
But wasn't he in? He was in the one with the Rock.
Stand Tall or something. Walking Tall.
Walking Tall, and
Yeah.
I really liked him in Walking
And
Tall.
He wasn't bad.
excellent in Walking Tall, I thought.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. He was also in a movie called Action Point where he plays an idiot who runs a theme park, and it's the dumbest movie in the world. He can play multiple parts.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think he would have pulled off like Yokel from the Midwest better than Robert. Robert Downey Jr. is so snide as just a person in general that I'm like, to me, he oozes Hollywood. He oozes the disgustingness that is that place. And to say he was from Indiana at some point, I'm like, I don't believe it. I just don't. That's just
I would say I could believe Johnny Knoxville.
and don't get me wrong.
It would be a totally different movie for me.
I think it would have been, but I like Robert Downey Jr. in some ways. But if you're going to tell me he's from the Midwest, I just don't believe you.
Yeah. The reason Robert Downey was decided over Benicio del Toro and Johnny Knoxville was because of the narration part in the script.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Because apparently he was chosen for this because he did a movie previously, like 1 or 2 years before this. I'd have to look up what the movie
It was
was.
2003. I remember.
Was
I
it?
remember it was 2003, but I don't remember the name of the movie.
But he plays a detective who does narration in the movie.
Okay.
So it's almost like it's not the same character, but it's the same delivery, that kind of thing. So that's why he was chosen for this. Plus, he's a big name actor, right?
Yeah, I like Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah. Apparently, this is one of Jon Favreau's favorite movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he casted Robert Downey Jr. in the Iron Man role based
on
off this movie.
I was wondering
Because if you think about it, if you
Yeah.
watch Iron Man,
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's
Yeah,
the same delivery. It's the
snide
same
shit, yeah.
snide
he's
thing.
Lockhart.
He's Lockhart. Yeah.
Yeah, and because when I watched this, I'm like, man, he's Iron Man in this movie.
Yeah.
He's literally Iron Man in this movie.
Yeah, a little bit less. I mean, he's a little bit less put together. He's not as what's the word?
Polished.
Yeah, well, he's not as polished. He's not as rich, obviously. So it's a lot.
I get it
more.
because the suit.
What? Oh, because of the metal suit.
That
It's
was
polished?
a joke.
That
Yeah.
was a joke, John.
You're supposed to laugh, audience.
But he's just not as put together. Like, he doesn't feel as complete. Whereas Iron Man, it seems like no matter what you say to him, he's got a response. And this one, I mean, he's dumb for half the movie. He's just a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that made a difference, but I don't know.
The movie you're talking about, Justin, is The Singing Detective
That's it. The Singing Detective. Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
from 2003.
Yeah, I've never seen it
He
either.
plays Dan Dark, how alliterative. And it's from his hospital bed, a writer suffering from a skin disease hallucinates musical numbers and paranoid plots.
Oh, I know why I didn't see this movie. It sucks dick. That's why I didn't see this movie.
Robin
So-
Wright's in it, and Mel Gibson.
So the reason why this director didn't actually choose him is just because the narration in that movie was kind of poor.
No, he liked the narration in that movie, so he chose him. He casted Robert Downey Jr. This one because it has the same kind of detective arcing story with the narration that that propels the movie forward, kind of
gotcha.
thing. That was the whole reason that he was cast in here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I do think that if it was Johnny Knoxville with Johnny Knoxville's delivery twang country thing, the voiceovers would have been slightly more annoying, and I could hear a banjo in the background more if it was Johnny Knoxville at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this, again, I just hear Iron Man telling me, hello, and we're doing this, and oh wait, hold on, I forgot to tell you this one part. Let's back up for a second. I'm like, oh my god. Anyway,
So the torture scene.
Yes.
the torture scene
Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah, where
where he gets his nuts hooked up to a battery or to a whatever the thing was, like psychiatric ward machine. Yeah.
jumper
Yeah.
cables or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what
something,
it was. Yeah.
Electroshock therapy.
Thank you. That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. What about it?
That's funny, isn't it? Yeah. I
don't know.
Laugh, John.
Electrodes on the balls.
I thought the funniest part about it was that Val Kilmer was pissing off the
Yes.
bad guy the most.
That's what I liked.
that was fun.
Yeah,
That's
he's
what I
a stop
found funny.
helping.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, apparently,
They really did it.
no.
Oh, that
I
would
was
have
so
been
hopeful.
hilarious.
I've been like,
That would've
no,
I was gonna say-
movie.
Robert Downey Jr. is kind of not acting. He's over embellishing, but he's kind of not acting because apparently, from what I've heard, is Shane Black's assistant on the movie
Yeah.
was crouched right outside of the frame of the camera and was punching Robert Downey Jr. in the kidneys
Oh,
every
really?
time they shocked him.
Wow. Okay.
Why would you do that?
Method acting. I
Why
don't know.
why wouldn't you just hook your nuts up to a electroshock therapy thing?
Probably because that has lasting effects. I don't know. Getting
Maybe.
kicked in
So does being punched in the kidneys repeatedly.
Not Robert Downey Jr.'s kidneys. Remember, he's like Iron Man and with internal organs because of his cocaine habit.
Okay. How'd you kill Robert Downey Jr.? We were doing a torture scene in a comedy. What?
Have you heard of Harry Houdini?
I'm just saying, like, I mean, low voltage. I'd do that. I mean, for a few minutes to be able to get the kid. I mean, as soon as he turned it on, low voltage, it's not a big deal.
It'll at least freak you out.
Yeah, it's enough to give it. I
I mean, you didn't really need to.
By the way, Shane, do I get to take this home with me afterwards?
I mean, you didn't really need to hook it up to his testicles, but you know,
to stomach or something.
maybe
or-
like on the inner thigh or something like that to
Yeah.
make it look a little real, or just run the wires up and just attach it to the sides or something like that.
Yeah.
Just to give him a little bit of a twinge and be like, oh, okay.
I don't know
this is
about
a
the
little
whole
weird.
being punched in the kidney thing.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that seems worse.
We don't know who his idea that was. It could have been Shane Black's. It could have been Robert Downey Jr. It could have been the assistant. Maybe he just wanted to punch Robert Downey Jr. Who
Okay,
knows?
you know what? In that instance, I understand it.
Right.
I understand wanting to punch Robert Downey Jr. in the kidneys.
Yeah.
I get that.
So one more thing before we start jumping into the money and all.
Sure.
Yeah.
The commercial that they keep talking about, the Gennaro's beer commercial.
Yes.
Horrible
Horrible. So that's a famous actor whose voice for the bear it's
Oh,
obviously
really?
heavily modified, right?
It's
Let's try to see if you guys can guess.
I know
Who the
I know
actor
he
is.
was like really goofy.
It's
but
not Anthony Hopkins. It's oh Jesus Christ. His name is he's Bond. He's James Bond. He's the original James Bond.
No.
Who is that though? What's his name?
Sean
The original-
Connery?
Sean Connery. It's Sean Connery.
No, it's not Sean Connery.
It's not Sean Connery.
Any ideas?
I'm going to guess
I have no clue. I'm not even gonna guess. I have no
Um,
fucking clue.
Why not? Guess Sean Connery.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
That's a good guess.
My guess was bad. That's worse, right? Like
No, so no guess, Kyle?
William
Nah.
H. Macy.
It was Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh,
oh
interesting.
really?
Yeah.
See, I would have never guessed that.
No, it doesn't sound like him at all.
No.
Yeah,
no.
that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
What
Like,
do I
it could
know?
literally be
I-
anybody.
What do I know? I put fish in my.
I
or
suck
bite
fish heads off,
There you go.
or I suck heads off the fish.
Yeah,
or whatever.
exactly. It's the dumbest shit.
No, we didn't tell you to laugh, John.
Oh, got it wrong.
The
That's my
idea.
cue.
That is the idea. Okay, let's
anyway,
let's
let's-
jump into the money, Scrooge McDuck style. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
The money. As Justin ruins his elbow. Yeah. So, budget. What do you guys think?
Budget for this
Yeah.
$25 million.
Oh, really? I was going to say, I think it's a little bit. I'm going
you
to say
think lower?
10 million.
10
Okay.
million?
I think it's like super low.
It's
All right.
possible. They tend-
$27 million.
27.
You said
Justin?
10, you said 10.
Yeah.
Justin.
Yeah.
You said 27.
Seven.
Okay.
I said 25.
25. Justin's closest at $15 million.
Oh, damn. I almost said 15.
Yeah.
Yep. 15 mil estimated. So, opening weekend. Now, this came out October 23rd, 2005.
Ooh,
I have a feeling this did not do well.
$3 million, Bob.
Okay.
2 million.
Oh, look at you going under.
$2.5 million.
Ooh,
Wow. You guys are like
Are we
giving
zinning
us
it
a
today?
lot of credit for opening weekend.
Damn
That's
it.
true. Yeah, we're in the
I was
news.
going to say $1 million.
I think we're missing a comma, but it's actually $180,060
Jesus.
or $660.
So Justin was closest. Just to be clear.
yeah.
Wow.
180,000. So,
I knew it didn't do well. I
Was-
just wasn't
was
sure how not well.
COVID going on back then? Was the theaters closed? I mean,
No, it's
Unless-
October. This kids were in school.
yeah, October
yeah, that's
23rd. I don't know what else came out. I should look out what else came
That's
out
a good
on
idea
that
on that
weekend.
same weekend. Yeah. Start doing that. That's nice.
Anything else?
Everything else that came out that won an Oscar came out that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
No, cumulative worldwide gross. I'll just skip the gross USA.
30 million.
Okay.
40.
Okay.
Nah, it's got to be
I
lower.
don't know. I'm going to say 20.
Yeah.
All right. So what did you say?
30.
Yeah, John's closest at 15,785,000.
So they made
So they
700
made-
grand.
Barely made his money back.
barely made it. So
Jesus.
cumulative gross USA was only 4.2 million.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Not a
that
money
makes
maker.
sense. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, not a moneymaker.
The gay Perry
kinda-
jokes. Imagine how much it wouldn't go over today, by the way. Like, you can't have a character named Gay Perry in a fucking movie today.
That's
But
true.
especially one played by a straight actor. You definitely couldn't
yeah.
do that. James Corden is pretty gay acting, and he's getting ripped up for playing a gay actor right now.
Why
So
do they
I
call
can
him
only
Gay
imagine.
Perry?
Because never mind.
Well, what do you think that the critics gave
Ooh,
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang on Rotten Tomatoes?
oof. I'm gonna go a 52%.
No.
60%.
The critics gave Kiss Kiss Bang Bang a, what'd you say?
52%.
I'm going to go 45%.
86.
Oh wow.
So
Really?
you're all really low. Yeah.
Huh.
And what do you think the audience gave?
Okay, so I'm gonna go 90.
90? John?
75.
Damn it. I was going to go 75. I'm going to go 70.
87.
Jesus.
So
Wow.
slightly higher.
Nice.
Wow, they are.
Well, there were only three. There were only three people who voted for it, John.
Yeah. How many audience? Do you know? Or do you have that
closed it,
number?
and I don't. Well, I guess I can look if you want to cut this out.
Well, I know IMDb. Its rating is a 7.5, and 215,000 people
Jesus.
did that.
Well, I'm going to say this. Roger Ebert gave it 2.5 stars.
Out of okay, so 50%.
Yeah, I gave it a 50.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually, no. It's like a 60.
yeah, it's like a 65,
60%.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah. This says 100,000 plus.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
So 87% on the audience.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not going to score it like dead bottom. I mean, it's not bad to me.
Well, it's not a 0.7.
No. It's no Devil's Rain.
it's no
Let's
That's
be
Devil's
clear.
Rain at all.
Nothing can compare to the comedy and horror mixed together in Devil's Rain.
We need some more Devil Rain movies.
Oh,
we
I've
don't.
got a couple in
Good.
my list.
Please,
Good.
no.
Yeah, yes.
don't need
I have a
them.
couple in my list. I have one specifically for Justin.
Oh, okay.
Specifically for Justin.
I'm going to give these movies like a 0.2.
That's
you guys
fine.
go, oh, he's so angry towards all movies.
No,
No,
it's
just these
it's
awful
to have fun
movies.
talking about
Oh,
them.
God,
All right.
No,
they're
I
so bad.
don't want Kyle to feel left out. I want you to kill one of my movies.
No.
I kill your movies. I just don't Devil's Rain them because it was the Devil's Rain. It was the worst.
Hold my beer.
All right. Well, let's give it the old Screen Riot pass then. I
Okay.
guess. So since I picked, I will start here. I enjoy this movie. I think it's pretty funny. Almost every line that comes out of Robert Downey Jr.'s mouth, just I kind of laugh at, or at least chuckle. The Gay Perry, my favorite character in this whole movie.
I really like him.
Yeah, Val Kilmer is just very charismatic. You know, if you look up the word idiot in the dictionary, you'll find a picture of me.
No.
The definition of the word idiot, because that's what you are. Things
I
like
think
that.
we missed this scene, but I really enjoyed the scene where Gay Perry had to go. He had to leave.
Yes.
And Robert and Lockhart's character was
Leaning
leaning
on
up
the car.
against the car, and he's like, "I really have to go."
Yeah.
Like,
Then he starts patting his shoulder.
I have to
It's-
go.
I have
Like,
to go.
and he like pushes him off. He just drops him. Like, oh my god, that's fucking
It was
hilarious.
hilarious. Yeah. So I'm gonna give this. This is probably my third time watching this, I think.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give this a 6.9.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go around there. I'm gonna go with the join the point crowd.
So I watched this.
Yeah.
I watched this twice, and
What, twice this week or?
yeah,
Okay.
and I don't know. I thought it was funny. I didn't fall down laughing at any points, and I didn't think that any part of it was amazing as a movie. Now that being said, I like that as a comedy, it had a real plot. I appreciated that.
Well, you asked me to pick a thinking man's comedy.
Well, it's kind
Like-
of it was kind of thinking.
I guess you tried. I mean, it was
I
it was
tried.
it was a good
Oh my
attempt.
God.
It was a good attempt. I mean, I put it up there with it was like a more serious Ace Ventura. Because if you think about the first Ace Ventura, it's got a serious plot to it. Like, there's people being killed and shit in the first movie, and there's a transsexual who apparently is like an evil mastermind in some instances. It's kind of a serious movie. It's just overlaid with Jim fucking Carrey, which
Right.
is awful in all ways. But I digress. So this movie, I thought there were definitely humorous parts. I think that Robert Downey Jr. was definitely one of the shining points and one of the worst points at the same time, because he was basically just Robert Downey Jr. through the lens of what he believes the Midwest to be. Is the only way I can describe it. I think Michelle Monaghan's boobs made a nice appearance, and probably the stars of the movie in some ways.
Highlight of the film, apparently.
Possibly, yeah. I do like Val Kilmer's character in it, but I didn't think that he was like super noteworthy the way you guys do. But I did think I liked him. I don't know. Overall, I would say that it's probably like a 5 for me.
Okay.
Even 5.
Yeah, an
Even 5
yeah.
for Eddie. Kyle?
That's where I'm going to go.
This is actually the second time I've seen it, and I think the first time I've seen it was with you.
Oh, so it's perfect.
You may have gone like, have you ever seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang? And we're like, I don't think so. And it was just one of our drinking nights. And
No, okay.
yeah, and so we watched it. I thought it was funny back then. Still thought it was funny now.
But were you drinking this time?
No.
Oh, see? So it's
I watched
objectively a great movie.
That's right. It wasn't like, you know, how Taco Bell is like the most amazing food. It's like, oh my God, what gourmet chef actually made this?
Yeah.
But
Taco Bell.
yeah.
It's a great parallel you're making there. I think that's exactly what's
The only
happening
restaurant
here.
that will survive the restaurant wars.
That's
true.
true.
That's a good movie too. So I guess with that, I mean, I watched this with my wife, and she was even laughing a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was this the first time she's seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool that she's laughing at this too. But she likes Robert Downey Jr. and she likes
Michelle Monaghan's boobs.
yeah, no, Val Kilmer. No, she really likes him. But I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna point one you up and do a solid 7.
Solid 7. Okay.
Okay.
That's solid 7 for Kyle. John?
John's bringing it home.
It's an okay film.
Yep.
It's okay. It's funny, but like I said before, it's funny. It just seemed too hard for the laugh. And I almost wish that they would have just done it straight and just perhaps. I mean, obviously they barely made their money back, so they couldn't have done any worse by playing it straight. And I think if they would have played it straight, it would have been how it would probably have a more cult following today.
Yeah.
Because I think it would have hit those funny notes a little bit better to me. But overall, Robert Downey Jr. is Robert Downey Jr. In the film. Kilmer is Kilmer. Michelle Monaghan is naked Michelle Monaghan. And
Which is worth a point in itself.
yeah, which is worth a point, which is why I'm not going to give it a 4.9 like I wanted to. I'm going to give it a 5.
I just thought about something. If they had done the layer cake on this, I think it would have been better. Like, I think if they had done
What,
like
to have 8 or 9 plots?
no. If they had done, because Layer Cake's a serious movie, it's got sprinklings of humor in it.
It
but
is
it's
a layer cake.
but it's still a serious movie.
Yeah.
I think if they had done that, if they had played it as a serious movie with sprinklings of like
Rock and Rolla.
like
Yes.
a little bit, but
Yeah.
not quite as stylized, but yeah, a little bit like that. I think it would have been better.
Or Snatch.
Yeah.
Snatch is a good
Yeah.
crime comedy.
Yeah, I think if they had done that
Oh.
and done away with calling him Gay Perry and stuff, just called him Perry.
One thing that I found, just one more point, and so then we can pick
Spin.
Eddie's
Oh
genre.
yeah, it is my turn, isn't it?
So when I guess Robert Downey Jr.'s character did not believe in guns, even though he
Yes.
was a robber, right? But towards the end of the movie, he was a damn marksman.
Yeah.
He's a sharpshooter,
Well,
man.
they kind of allude to that because him and Harmony both are talking about the Johnny. This whole movie is a Johnny Gossamer novel.
Yes.
If anyone didn't make that connection,
Right.
They even say that it's always weird that the good guy always ends up killing like 16 people at the end. Well,
Oh,
what does
okay.
Johnny?
Oh,
what does
yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. do at the end?
Harry
He-
Lockhart
Yeah,
actually
I think he kills like 8 or 9, 10 people or something,
Okay.
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of parallels between the book and what happens in the, obviously in the
Yeah.
movie. We didn't talk about probably one of my favorite scenes that I laugh every time I watch this.
Okay.
And that's when they have the insane asylum employee,
Yes.
and Robert Downey Jr. is trying to get information out of him.
He loads the one
and he loads the
round,
one
yeah.
round, and he spins it, and he shoots, trying to bluff the guy, and it kills him.
What I liked about that scene was the math.
That's what
He's
I'm
like,
talking about.
he's
That's
like,
what
I
makes
got a
me
one.
laugh.
I got an 8% chance or something.
Or
He's
no,
like,
1 in 8.
8%.
It's like 1 in 8 shot or something like
No,
that.
he
or
says
one-
he's like it was only 8%. Like I had to look it up because I was curious. it's about 17%.
Yeah, but he's like, who taught you math? Like,
Yeah.
I did think that was funny.
Yeah.
No, because I thought
Yeah.
he said something about he thought he had 8 rounds or 8 slots or something like that. So it was like a 1 in 8 chance, and he's like, "What? Who
No,
taught
he
you
doesn't
to
say
do
anything
math?"
about how many rounds.
It was a 6-shooter.
It's a 6-shooter.
Yeah.
So he thought he thought it was 8%.
Oh,
It was
okay.
an 8% chance, and it wasn't. It
Yeah.
was more than that. But it was just
gotcha.
funny. I liked Val Kilmer's response. So he's like, "Did you really just what are
Yeah.
you doing?
Who
Like,
taught you math?
yeah, that too. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
And
I
then
did.
Val Kilmer gets the phone call, and then Harry is traumatized because he just killed somebody, right?
Yeah.
He's all against the car, and he's like 8%, 6, and then Val Kilmer's like, "You stop multiplying."
Yeah, stop doing math.
I
gotta be
laugh
honest,
every time I see
but
that.
just
so-
like a lot of these things, it's funnier when you explain it to me. I'm gonna legally shoot a man. Like I just find it funnier when you do it. It's funny, but
my
then you
mannerism.
explain it, and I'm like, you're so giddy about it too.
'cause
it's like my
hilarious.
Matt Damon thing. It's like it's
Matt Dillon. I like that one.
all right.
So,
up?
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang gets a Screen Riot score of 6.0.
6.0.
even.
That
All
makes
right.
sense.
So, we've already done our rounds. It is now up to Eddie. He is the last one.
Bring us home.
So we need to spin for his genre.
Let's see what I get picked.
Okay, here we go.
Yep. Wow, my name's on there a lot.
That's obviously
And it is animation.
animation.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Okay.
It's the Animaniacs.
And we're crazy to the max.
Okay, so I'm gonna choose Spirited Away from 2001.
Okay.
Do you have a synopsis for us?
Oh God, it's I don't have one right in front of me, but it's basically about a little girl who goes into a spirit world because of some things, and she ends up trying to figure out how to get out. That's what happens.
Okay.
It's a crazy movie. If you've ever seen like a little, I don't know what else to call it, like a cartoon character, stuffed animal or something with like a big white face and black thing around it, that's actually no face, and it's complicated to explain. There's good beings, bad beings, but technically not. It's kind of weird. It's a weird movie.
Yeah. This is from Japanese culture stuff.
Yes.
And all, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So that's going to be our next movie. It's going to be an animation. It's called Spirited Away. If you haven't seen the film, you can go to justwatch.com. Check that website out. Look for Spirited Away. You can find out where it's playing, where it's streaming, where you can rent it, and all that stuff. That's it for us here at Screen Riot. Please make sure that you go and like us and subscribe to us so you can hear more of our stupid banter about movies. Definitely leave us a review on your favorite podcast thing. Hit up our social media stuff. Let us know what you think of the show. If you want to hear a movie, give us a movie name that you want us to review on the show. We also do, at the end of each season, we also do a listener choice movie, so make sure you check out our social media stuff to know when that's going to be happening. And you can win a free Screen Riot t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
So definitely check that out. So all right, with that, Spirited Away, next movie, and thanks, and have a good day.
See ya.
See ya.
Later.